Today we're taking a look at these NCAAF matches, which are happening on Saturday, September 10, 2022. And giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 360 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. So make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Colorado vs Air Force. The Colorado defense struggled in one big area in the opener, stopping the ground attack of TCU. Now they travel on the road to take on Air Force, who just compiled 582 rushing yards versus Northern Iowa, the 6th most in school history. Air Force was able to control the line of scrimmage and the tempo of the game, utilizing 16 different runners in the game. Adding to the team's difficulty was the defense's inability to get any penetration or to turn the ball over. Air Force's identity is its dominant ground attack, and Colorado did not appear to have any answers in its opener versus TCU's ground game. Offensively, Colorado shuffled its quarterbacks in the opener, trying to find some consistency. Air Force's defense will allow yardage, but they showed the ability to tighten up in the red zone versus Northern Iowa. Colorado will struggle against Air Force's intricate ground attack, and the option will give them fits. Our team pick is Air Force minus 16 points. I am leaning towards the over in this game, as Air Force scored 48 points in their season opener and Colorado gave up 38 points in their opener. The Falcons will move the chains often on the ground and get in the end zone often. Colorado's offense was not in sync in their opener, but I look for them to have a decent game on that side of the ball this Saturday. Air Force will not contain the Buffaloes, but they will keep them from scoring many points. However, the Falcons will do just that as they did last week, which is why the over is the pick for this non-conference affair. Our total pick is over 49.5 points. Washington State vs Wisconsin. Washington State normally has a good offense, but they scored just 27.8 PPG and 27.0 PPG in the last 2 years, and this year could be worse as they have just 4 starters back on that side of the ball. QB Jayden de Laura is gone after tossing 23 TDs and just 9 ints last year, and in steps Cameron Ward, who threw for 46-48 yards with 47 TDs and just 10 ints at Incarnate Word last year. Ward had a decent game against Idaho as he threw for 215 yards with 3 TDs and no ints. Now he has to face one of the best defenses in the Big Ten, so we could see him struggle in this one. Nate Watson could be key to the offense after rushing for 117 yards last week on just 18 carries. The Badgers are predicted to win the Big Ten West, while the Cougars have been picked to finish last in the Pac-12 North, and Week 1 did tell us a lot about both teams. The Cougars faced FCS foe Idaho and won by just 7 points, despite being 28-point favorites. Wisconsin faced Illinois State and they won by a score of 38-0. The Badgers have a strong ground game and they will run all over Washington State defense that allowed 200+ yards rushing 5 times last year. Wisconsin has just 3 starters back on defense, but they do have one of the best in the nation, and Washington State has just 4 starters back on offense. The Cougars will not score nearly enough to keep this one close. Lastly, the Cougars are 1-8 at TS in their last 9 games in September, while the Badgers are 5-1 at TS in their last 6 games after allowing less than 20 points in their previous game. Our team pick is Wisconsin minus 17 points. The Badgers will do their best to run the clock down and control the game. That is their mantra under head coach Paul Chryst. Expect a low-scoring game with hard-nosed football, turnovers, and Wisconsin wearing down an insatiable Washington State pass rush by running Braylon Allen and Shea Malusi, who combined for just under 200 yards, relentlessly. The game will be over quickly. No, like it'll finish up in 2 hours and some change. Our total pick is under 46.5 points. Appalachian State vs Texas A&M. The Appalachian State Mountaineers were painfully close a season-opening statement win against a conference power in North Carolina. In front of a record home crowd, the Mountaineers nearly pulled off the upset against their in-state rivals. It was a back-and-forth affair as the Mountaineers jumped out to an early lead, then trailed big before finally rallying to tie the game in one of the most frenetic fourth quarters in recent memory. The two teams combined to score 3 touchdowns in the final 31 seconds, and the game wasn't decided until App State's 2-point try with 9 seconds left failed in a thrilling 63-61 North Carolina win. There were plenty of highlights in this back-and-forth battle. Quarterback Chase Bryce threw 6 touchdowns on the day, a school record, and 4 of those touchdown throws occurred in the scintillating fourth quarter. 6 different receivers caught a touchdown pass from Bryce, but the offensive heroics were not limited to the air. App State ran for 288 yards on the day, led by Nate Noel's 116 yards rushing to go along with 2 touchdowns. Bryce helped lead the Mountaineers back from a 20-point deficit in the fourth quarter and made life miserable for the Tar Heel defense. Bryce's 5th touchdown, a 28-yard touchdown to Deshaun Davis with 31 seconds left, brought the Mountaineers within a point, but Clark decided to go for the win. After the failed attempt, the Mountaineers amazingly got another chance after UNC returned the onside kick for a touchdown and took an 8-point lead. Bryce threw his 6th and final touchdown to Keaton Robinson with 9 seconds left, but the 2-point conversion failed and the epic comeback was thwarted. The Texas A&M Aggies opened the season ranked 8th in college football and with aspirations to get to the college football playoffs. In the opener, the Aggies looked a bit disorganized offensively with 2 turnovers, but the defense was dominating and shutting out Sam Houston, 31-0. Wide receiver Ainias Smith had a big day with a career-high 164 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns in the win. Sophomore quarterback Haynes King threw for a career-high 364 yards and 3 touchdowns, despite throwing 2 interceptions. Smith also rushed for 37 yards on 6 carries. The game was a bit disjointed as it was delayed for nearly 4 hours due to heavy rain and lightning in the area. While App State is coming off the high of an incredibly close and thrilling home loss to North Carolina at home in front of a friendly, supportive crowd, they now go right into the Lions' Den in front of a raucous crowd in College Station. App State's season was almost made with their near upset of North Carolina, a team that has taken a bit of a step back in 2022 with key departures. They now face an A&M team that has far greater aspirations. The Aggies' defense will certainly not allow over 60 points to the Mountaineers in this game. In fact, they will not allow even half that total, as their top-flight defensive line will regularly find itself in the App State backfield. Chase Bryce will find the going much more difficult in this matchup and will not approach his yardage or touchdown numbers against one of the best defenses in the country. On the other side of the ball, App State's defense proved susceptible to a North Carolina offense that features a new quarterback and a new backfield. Expect the Aggies' offense to continue to build off of the team's performance in Week 1 and for Fisher to put an emphasis on ball protection in this game. The 16-point line is a bit of a mirage due to App State's exciting performance in Week 1. The Aggies will not have nearly the same difficulty that the Tar Heels had, especially at home. Our team pick is Texas A&M minus 16 points. Appalachian State put themselves in the position to earn the elusive bragging rights of a win over in-state Power 5 conference team, North Carolina, but ultimately fell short in easily the most entertaining game of Week 1 in college football. The Mountaineers went for the lead with a 2-point conversion with under a minute to play and failed, and then again failed at a 2-point try to force overtime. Chase Bryce and the Mountaineers slashed the Tar Heel defense for 44th quarter points in an immense fourth quarter comeback that almost led the scrappy App State team to an improbable win in front of a raucous home crowd. The deficiencies on defense went both ways as the Mountaineers could not stop Drake May and the Tar Heel offense as both teams combined for a fourth quarter of 62 points, including 5 touchdowns in the final 4 minutes. Bryce, a Clemson transfer, threw for 4 TDs in the quarter alone, but when it was time to win the game on the first 2-point conversion and then later for the tie, he was unable to connect with a receiver. App State can score. Texas has an SEC offense led by a national champion coach with an offensive mind. Our total pick is over 55 points.